Call the meeting to order. Everyone rise with Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we do a roll call.
Yes. Wonderjim.
Here.
Vanek here. Steffes.
Here.
Cardine. Here. Campbell. Here. DeHaan.
Here.
Ivor.
Here. We have a quorum. Thank you. Please note, as a courtesy to the members of the audience, the Board of Education, please silence your cell phone. Public will only be able to speak during public comment if signed up. I have one. We're good. Thank you very much. First item on the agenda, the approval of the agenda. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Support.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion passes. Number 2, presentations. We have Grandview and the high school here.
Yes. So starting out, we have Mr. Scotto and his awesome Grandview kids, and they have something they want to share with us. So take it away, Mr. Scotto.
Thank you so much, everyone, for having us tonight. First, I'd like to thank Nellie. Go ahead and stand up when I call your name. Finn, Ren, Arrow, Ella, Kylie, Henrik, Claire, and Owen for coming tonight. We really appreciate you guys being here. We're going to present tonight on our Grand Fam initiative. This is a social emotional learning initiative that we have at our school that I'm going to tell you a little bit about with the help of our students. So you guys can have a seat. Awesome job. So at Grandview Elementary School, we are committed to create an environment where students and staff work together to feel safe and build strong bonds and lasting relationships throughout the year. Our goal is to ensure that every student feels deeply connected to our school community and knowing and trusting a staff member and their fellow students. We strive to unite as one grand family where every student feels safe, confident, and a true sense of belonging, and every student has every student has access to the support systems needed to achieve their fullest potential. Together, we are creating a nurturing and inclusive environment where everyone can thrive. At the beginning of the school year, each student was placed in a Grand Fam group led by a staff member and consisting of approximately 14 to 15 students. These groups will meet monthly or have met monthly to engage in culture building activities. We discuss our character traits for the month and participate in social emotional learning lessons as a group. These activities are designed to strengthen connections and encourage teamwork and foster a true sense of community in our schools. Each monthly meeting will help to ensure that every student feels valued and supported as a vital member of our grand family. I'm going to turn it over to our students now, and then at the end we have just a quick slideshow that we're going to show you.
Hi, my name is Nellie and I'm a third grader at Grandville Elementary. Today we're excited to tell you about GrandFams, which is something really special at our school. GrandFams help us feel connected, supported, and part of one big school family.
In GrandFams, students from different grade levels meet together once a month. We get to know students we don't usually see during the school day and build strong relationships with adults in our building. GrandFams help everyone feel connected and like where they truly belong. Each GrandFam also has a special animal, and mine's a llama.
Mine is a kangaroo. Mine's a koala. Mine's a narwhal. Mine's a koala. Mine's a llama. Mine's a penguin. Mine's a narwhal. Mine's a gorilla.
That makes our group unique. We begin every GrandFam meeting, which is a fun culture building activity to strengthen relationships to build community. In the past, students have participated in challenges such as stacking cups competition and a team dodgeball passing challenge.
This year in GrandFams, we are reading a book called The Energy Bus for Kids. The book teaches us how our attitude matters and how positive energy can help us get through hard situations. One lesson we learned is that positive energy spreads when we are kind, encouraging, and helpful. It makes other people feel good too, and that helps our whole school. During Grandfams, we don't just read. We do. The energy bus also teaches us how we can deal with negativity and bullying. We talked about how we can respond in positive ways and ask for help and not let someone else's bad truths ruin our day.
Good job.
During Grandfams, we don't just read. We do activities and team building challenges. We work together, talk about real life situations, and learn how to support each other as a team.
Grandfams make me feel safe because I know there are adults and students I can go to if I need help. I also like that teachers know us as people, not just students in a classroom. Because of Grandfams, our school feels more positive and welcoming. Older students help younger students and everybody looks out for each other. It really feels like we are one grand family.
Grandfams have helped us learn important life skills like kindness, resilience, and teamwork. We are proud to be part of a school that cares about how we treat each other and how we grow as people. Thank you for listening and supporting Grandville Elementary.
Thank you so much. Thank you to Mrs. Slon, our SEL coach. We're going to go ahead and show you our quick slideshow, and thank you again for being a great audience.
I really liked it that we were like a family. We celebrated everything like a family. She's really nice, she's awesome, and she's the best. They gave thankful turkeys.
I think Grandfams are important to our school because it helps our younger students get really excited about, moving on to the next grade and looking forward to what's coming. And it gives our older kids the opportunity to be leaders and really help those younger kids, which really prepares them for when they leave our building.
They build communities and friendships around your school. We smell when everybody else smells last year because when everybody else smells, it makes me feel very warm inside, and it's very kind to smell to each other because then everyone will think that they're included, and that's because that's demonstrating kindness, and everyone's having fun, and everybody's having fun with each other.
I hope that we have a lot of fun. I hope that we get to know each other well and we're more than just a family, but we become friends. I love it when we're out in the hall and I see my Grandfam and they make me feel so special when they say hi to me. I hope this year for a lot of fun, a lot of collaboration.
I'm hoping it will be popcorn day at Grandville, so I could watch like a show about kindness or something. I like Grandville because it shows us that everyone is important. I am proud to belong at Grandville.
And then here are just some pictures of our Grandfams throughout the year that I'll go through really quick. But we do have every staff member in our building, from a paraprofessional all the way to a social emotional learning coach to our teachers who are in charge of a Grandfam. So it's pretty neat to see.
What's been the staff feedback on that?
We have 2 staff members here. I hope they would say it's good, but
Very good. Go Llamas.
but
Team Owl over here, and I've got one of my little owlets sitting right next to me. So.
Yep, we're reading a book this year, The Energy Bus, like was said, and they're given the lesson plan and the culture builder, and it's 30 minutes a month where they just connect with each other. So it's really powerful. In September we did 2 meetings to get to know each other, so it's been fun. And they stay in their grand fams throughout each year, and then we just add the kindergarten students or any students who are new to it, to the group.
Now, were both of my friends here on each end, were you both koalas? You were a koala, right? And what are you? What was yours? Gorilla. You're a gorilla? I just want to say, props to both of you for doing that whole presentation on your toes. Awesome. Good job.
Thank you so much.
Hey.
Thank you, guys.
We could easily get one.
I know, right?
Yeah, those are all over the place. Yeah.
So Adam, can you top that?
Thank you.
Thank you.
What do they say? Never follow kids or animals or something like that?
Yeah. Got to get all those animals out. They were kids and animals.
Thank you for coming, everybody.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Good job. Awesome job. That was a crew, man.
It's the house system from Ron Clark. I love it.
Is it?
Yeah, it's they did something different. Called it something big sign. It's good. Good stuff.
Love it. We talked about it. It's a shop.
Yeah,
There goes the whole crowd.
I wrote it down.
That's good.
Yeah.
Put a flag on it.
All right. Right? Okay, so next we have the high school as well as the presentation. Mr. Langdale, take it away.
So we wanted to come tonight and we wanted to share about our MTSS intervention systems. But you guys have heard a lot about the systems and the structures and things, but I wanted to bring, we were hoping for 3 individuals, but Desmond Young had a rescheduled snow day basketball game, so he's playing Schoolcraft right now. But we wanted to bring 3 individuals who've been vital in developing a secondary model of support at both the classroom, the Tier 2 and the Tier 3 level, that, you know, when we first got the 3 of them on staff, it was a lot of, you know, how does this work, or what does this look like at the secondary level? And the 3 of them have owned this immensely and have developed some really creative and unique ways of supporting students at a high school level. And so we wanted to bring them here tonight just to highlight the great work that they've done, but also just kind of let you guys know what they've been doing. And I'll turn it over to Kate Sturks here.
Well, we are not as cute as the first group, but we will try. I am Kate Sturks. I'm the social emotional learning coach. Matt Bird is our student advocate and with us tonight. We're going to walk you through an overview of each tier that we have, so tier 1, 2, and 3, and what our supports look like within those tiered settings. This is just a quick overview of the different services and interventions that we offer, and the different interventions and strategies for kids. So tier 1, if you think about, it's what we do for all students. So you hear me say all, some, or few. At tier 1, it's for all students and staff. It is our systems and our supports that we set up to ensure that when students are walking through our building, they feel safe, part of a community, and ready to learn. And so that's what we do for all. So to give you a little bit of a highlight at the tier 1 level, certainly it starts with our school-wide PBIS. We have our grit matrices, our grit tickets, our approach to how we build climate and culture within the school through classroom and school-wide behavior management. And that includes regular tier 1 data reviews to kind of check in and see what's going well and what we might need to tweak. and always looking at the data for continuous improvement. We started this year classroom coaching, which I'm going to skip over right now, come back to that in a minute, and that's something we're really excited to talk about. One of these maybe hurdles that we have at the secondary level is that there are some just systems and structures at the high school level that make Tier 1 lesson delivery, like you've heard what the elementary schools do, and then what the coaches do every month. They have monthly Tier 1 lessons that they can deliver school-wide. Our structure is a little bit different, so we haven't found a way to seamlessly integrate that. So we tried this year with a public service announcement learning series that we ran through our announcements, where we talked about the 5 CASEL core competencies, the social emotional learning. And it was really cool because it involved our AB students. We wrote the scripts and gave them the guidelines, and then they took it and ran with it. And our school improvement team worked on that as well. And so that's been really well received. We tied it in with our spring grit assembly that we had last week that wrapped up the senior survivor as well. We also rolled out a wellness forum this year. We hope to repeat that maybe one more time this year, but definitely stagger it out through next year, where we invited students to come during seminar and learn and practice hands-on interactive strategies to increase kind of their health and wellness, especially around the winter blues. We are in the long haul between Christmas break and spring break, and it's a stressor for everyone, right? For a variety of reasons. So that was really well received. We had record numbers for our forum, so we hope to run that again. And then also something new this year we're doing is called For Fun's Sake. This work is hard, and it takes a lot. And so we have to remember to have fun and just keep it light where we can. And so we're doing monthly themed events where each planning room is owning an event or programming for the staff throughout the month. So it's for teachers, by teachers, and right now we're in the middle of an Olympic competition between planning rooms. So we've enjoyed that as well. Back to that teacher collaboration and coaching. This is something that we've been kind of dipping our toes in over the last few years, but we've really been able to take off with it this year. We have amazing educators in our building, and they are doing wonderful things, but there are times where teaching is hard, and class dynamics can be hard, or individual student learning needs to be hard, or you're new to the profession and it's a little bit hard. And so how can we allow for coaching without it being tied to evaluation? And so I've been pushing into partnerships with teachers. It's completely optional. They can seek me out if they are struggling with maybe instructional delivery, classroom management, like I said, individual student behaviors. I go in and I'm an extra set of eyes. I don't report back to admin. We are there just in a trusted partnership. They're being vulnerable, and I'm just sharing another perspective of what I'm seeing, and we have worked through quite a few tough cases. And so I was just in another classroom this afternoon. That makes my 13th consult this year so far, and so we're really looking to continue building that. I think if we can help problem solve, troubleshoot, and just support teachers at the Tier 1 level, obviously that helps keep our Tier 2 and Tier 3 down, right? So we can impact more students quickly at the Tier 1 level.
I love this. I do too. This is great, because having been a new teacher, you just feel like you're thrown in the middle of the ocean. Now swim a lot and teach all at the same time, and so this is great. I'm so glad you do that.
Thank you. We're excited. We're looking at how we can keep this growing, and that's important. So Tier 2, this is what we do for some students. So when we think about behavior and even academic science, right, a good system will be enough that 80 to 90% of students we expect to be successful just within that Tier 1 structure. It is scientific, human nature that some kids are going to struggle. So we anticipate around 10 to 15% of students might need something a little bit more, just a little bit extra beyond that Tier 1 setting, a little bit more supports, and so that's what we find at Tier 2. So this is what we do for up to 10% of our students. And so these are a variety of interventions. Check and check out is the OG of interventions. It was the first intervention that kind of came about, and it is for externalizing students that are really driven by adult connection and interaction. And it is a daily system where they get positive feedback at the end of every class and gentle encouragement when there needs to be some improvements. The reason why this works is because it's a I've got you versus gotcha. So we're not nitpicking kids, we're not pointing out all of the negative and holding them to some impossible standards. It's like, this is what you're doing well, here's where we can move it forward even more, and they get that 6 times a day from their teachers. If we have a student that maybe isn't driven by that external adult attention, we usually will funnel them into something called Check and Connect. And this is a version of that where they meet with myself, or and Matt will talk about what it looks like at the Tier 3 level, where we kind of address the big 3, academics, attendance, and behavior. And so they could be with us for all 3 of those, a combination of those. But we meet once a week and we talk about a specific set of goals that they're going to work towards. And then we are kind of the loop between home, teachers, student, and coach. And we've kind of, as Adam said, tweaked the system as we moved along, and now we are starting with scaffolded specific goals and working their way up to that higher level, deeper learning and skill set. And so we track that weekly and have seen really nice growth from that. And then the third major kind of grouping of interventions we offer is something called a SAG, a social academic instructional group, where we pull students out of class to teach a lagging skill or a skill not yet learned in some cases, and with the intention that pulling back and doing that work in a small group setting then translates back into increased academic and behavior outcomes in the classroom setting. And so we have 3 specific ones that we run. The one that I do the most often is Trails to Wellness. It's a fantastic program out of the University of Michigan that addresses anxiety, depression as it manifests and gets in the way of school success and social emotional success. I also do the Social Emotional Wellness Group, which is focusing more on those 5 core competencies with a different topic each week. So stress management, advocating for what you need, navigating conflict appropriately and not escalating it, kind of those soft skills that they need with us and beyond in college and career community. And then finally, we partner with Ellie's Place for grief and loss. It is the toughest group that I run just because of the nature of it. Mm-hmm. And there has been, it seems like each year, more and more loss in young people's lives. So that is my least favorite to run because of the reason behind it, but it is one of the most fulfilling things that I do. So those are our groups, and those are what I'm working through. Des, if he were here, he would tell you that he also does some check-in, check-out coordination. This year, he started something new with math push-in support. So he is our academic coach. He feels really confident in like the math and sciences, and so we, instead of him only doing pull-out groups, he's partnered with 2 teachers, and he goes in and he acts like a para during those classes, and he provides just-in-time reteaching, small group pull-outs in the classroom. It helps with if there was a missed day in class, he can get that learning in. He just is another set of eyes and hands in the classroom. And so he will go in 3 days a week to 2 different classes. And we're seeing some nice growth and outcomes from that as well. And then he will do the math SAG, and I'm going to turn it over to Matt, and you can kind of explain a little bit more how this started and how we got here.
So we started to take a look at trends throughout the building. One thing in schools that we don't really get a whole lot to do when you're in it, as you all know, is really taking a hard look at the data and what does that data mean in a timely fashion. Power School does a great job of giving reports, but those reports are end of the year reports. They're not what October's telling us, what November's telling us, what December's telling us. And all of those are telling us something about our community. Okay, and so what we started to see is much like, if you almost take it in looks of the dyslexia law, there is a math situation here in the city of Michigan. And so we were taking a look at that, especially with the transition of kids that we are getting now too, where there's a certain percentage of the population that wasn't necessarily within our means of a district, coming from a different district, and how do we see exactly where they're at, and then how can we service those kids to the best of our ability. And that data, for the 4 years that we were really tracking, it's really started to tell us something. Okay, there was a significant, and I say significant might not be the best word, but there was a certain percentage of the population that we needed some added support. What we find with a lot of these kids, they don't even know how to explain where their problem is at. They just don't get it. And so it's getting them into an environment where we can focus on the 6 foundational skills in Algebra 1 that we might be lagging, and then bringing them to a point to where we can then give that feedback then back to the teachers as well. And then as a department, we can make changes that are necessary or improve on our strengths. And so that is something that Des has done as a nice job with math, because he does speak the language of math better than we do.
So then that takes us to the Tier 3 support. So this is what we do for the few. So we would expect in a healthy, well-supported system, no more than 5% of students might need something at a Tier 3 level. These are highly individualized and intensive supports that include school, community, family, and student. And so I'll let you share your points.
This is where I come in. I deal with the 5% of the population that historically would cause 90% of an administrator's time. All right, and what that is I have decided to take a look at it, and we took a look at it as a group of, there's a story there. We're not going to deal with it right now. We're going to see what happened to you. And so we take a look at the CA60, and we'll backtrack, and almost to a T, we can see where there was some type of significant impact on a child's learning. And so from that, rather than focusing so much on exactly what's going on right now, which we do, and so if there's a disruption in class or there's something else that's going on, we do deal with that, but we take a look at academic stabilization. All right, I see it as a gap. There's something there that the child is sitting in a classroom and doesn't want to be the one in that room that doesn't follow along with everybody else. So there's certain conditioned behaviors that they've learned over time that gets us out of the class or gets something off task. Whether they're consciously doing it or subconsciously doing it, it's a situation there where their brain has needed some guidance through. So we really take a look at that foundational competency and go back and take a look to, one, improve that confidence of the student. Behavioral improvement. What we have seen is once that confidence improves, the behavior improves. The student starts to feel better about their worth, where they are, and there's also connection within the building. Bottom line is when they come in with me, or they come in with Kate, or they come in with Des, we believe in you. We believe in you. And we might be the only one that they've had in 9 years, 10 years, 11 years, and you should see the change in their face. And things start to happen where you don't, what has taken some people, many years to get them to tell the story, they tell us things in those first 5 to 10 minutes after those statements that are just absolutely unbelievable. And we'll see behavioral improvement. And we work on those things. Kids know only what they're exposed to. And so a lot of them that come from different backgrounds and come in here, they're exposed to something it's truly foreign to them. And so they're not always necessarily even under the understanding that it is inappropriate. That's what they're used to. And so bringing them in to those standpoint, but also some of the things that we have seen, increased school attendance, kids are showing up. We're seeing students that have never participated in a sport, play a sport. We're seeing students that are staying after, even little things of walking along the hallway and picking up a piece of paper and throwing it out. That shows a connection that not everybody sees, but when a kid is truly, or a child is truly connected to a building, a community, whatever, those little things are important to them, and you start to see those things take place. Those individualized check and connect, those are the things that we will do. Some of those kids are an everydayer for me. I need to strategically place myself throughout the building to know their schedule so they can see me without them realizing that I'm seeing them. To get a fist bump, just to get that visual to like, we are in a safe spot. But then it's also utilizing different resources like Google Voice or something like that. We are establishing connections with parents that we have not had in the past. And it's done with intentional language. It's reframing our conversations with them. It's making them feel a part of a community and not where they're feeling that they're always having to maybe hide a portion of their lives of a struggle that they're going through outside of our buildings, but actually feel like they have somebody in their backgrounds where they share more with us, not to decipher things and to share with the world what's going on, but just to think is, hey, I got your back, and this is what families do. And to make them feel like they're truly part of the Grandville family. And so once we've got that, we've established that connection, now we go to the strategy and planning, and this is where we go through and take the pressure off the staff to where we're doing the research. We are going through talking with different trauma specialists through the area, how to deliver that best material back to how to reword some things to give those resources to our teachers that they just don't have the time for. Okay? Other aspects with AI, being able to reframe a test to fit the reading level of where that student is at to give them confidence. It's still hitting all the standardized core things that we need to, but putting it in a way that they feel like they can own their learning. The biggest thing that I would like to say about the message of the Tier 3, for so long, we have given the adults the ability to manage the behavior and not given the students the resources to manage their own behavior. And this is giving the students ownership. And when they feel that they own it, it's a game changer. It's a game changer. And so this has been, what we've done in 4 years with our Tier 3 and to get the kids, last year when I had a mom in tears because their child was the first one to graduate from their family ever, and to walk was just something that was truly, truly special, and I will forever be grateful to be a part of that. Okay.
A couple more things that we do at the Tier 3 level. We will do comprehensive behavior plans. Even though we have great interventions, it might not always be what that student needs right at that moment, at that time, and they might still be struggling after an intervention or two. So then that's when we'll look at doing an FBA and really diving into what the behavior needs are and how we can best support them through a positive behavior support plan moving forward. We are also doing Blue Envelope. So that has started the back end of 23. Blue Envelope is the Corewell Health suicide risk screening program. That has been an incredible resource for us because there were a lot of great people doing great work and trying to get those kids who are, having suicidal ideation or self-harm struggles, but there wasn't a district-wide protocol. And so this has been great. Counselors, myself, Matt, admin, we all use these screeners, and we can really quickly be plugged into supporting a student right away. And then from that, Jason has also helped us build a really nice tracking and support program protocol for what happens after that Columbia Risk Screener. So then how do we support that student moving forward? It's not just, okay, we screened, now go figure it out, right? Or like, okay, we'll just try X, Y, or Z. We have a really coordinated response. And then that leads us to our safety plan. So and you can screen low, medium, or high, or low, moderate, or high risk. Usually, even if you're screening low risk, we still put some sort of safety plan in place that outlines like coping skills and strategies and who to go to. With our moderate and high risk students, we are really leaning back into like a comprehensive safety plan, multifaceted and multi-steps to it with different support people in the building.
Okay, can I quick ask a question? So do you ever have situations where kids jump to, boom, the blue envelope screeners immediately without having to go through the previous tiers?
Oh, sure, yeah. This is just if someone has, often the first unit of language arts in high school is a narrative, personal narrative. And so usually right away, they will disclose something in a English essay, and I'll get the call from the English teacher, and we just respond right away. This is if they mention anything, if they say something to a friend, if a parent has a concern, they can call and say, hey, I'm worried about this student, can you please meet with them and do a risk screener? So this isn't tied, great question, it's not tied to any previous intervention, but because it's so highly specific and individualized, we house it under the tier 3 level of support.
Makes sense, yeah.
This is some data at a glance. We're not going to read all those slides to you, but basically what we've been very intentional about is that we want to progress monitor, we want to have fidelity checks, and we want to make sure that what we're doing, the goal of everything that we do at all of the intervention levels is to increase academic or social, emotional, behavioral skills that translate to increased outcomes in the classroom. So we need to make sure that what we're doing is working in the classroom setting. And so we have a variety of ways to track all of these different interventions, and if you want more data on that, we can get it for you later. But basically, if we are doing it, we have data that backs up that shows that it's successful and it's meeting those needs of the student and moving kids forward. So that's a quick glance at those primary interventions. And then I did want to put this up there. So these are our numbers from 23 to last week. You can see that we're about split 50-50 with the moderate and high risk to low risk blue envelope screens. They are an excellent tool, an excellent support, but they can be very time consuming. And that support doesn't just go away, like I said, at the end of the Columbia Risk Screener. We have students on our caseload that we meet with weekly, we monitor the safety plan, we track progress, and we're still helping them build those skills and strategies to replace those maladaptive coping strategies that they've had. So this does take time, and there is definitely a need. So we've been
When you look at that graph down, what causes that much of a variation between your 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th? Is it just maturity level? Is that switch from a middle school to a high school? It's a whole different world, right? Is it that just developmental phase? I mean, what is it anything?
I'm going to say that there is levels that kids don't know, come with the skills of how to turn the brain off.
Yeah.
And so much of our best behavioral, neuro people work with the industries with communication, designed to give these levels of dopamine kicks and things that are at such a high level, creating things that our kids don't know how to shut it off. When we were all younger, we could go home and we didn't have to be who we were at school. We could be somebody different.
Yeah.
And they're on all the time, and it's that. And then they also increase that high school matters, it counts.
Yeah.
And it feels like 6 hours, everything counts. And so it's that jump there.
I think too, Jason, that you see more kids get involved throughout their high school career. Freshmen, we try to get them plugged in and try to give them things, but by the time that they're older, they're trying things for the first time or trying to get involved, or they feel more confident.
They find their place.
I think that has a direct impact on mental health, as we've shown over the years.
Yeah.
Are those numbers just for 1 year then?
No, this is from the spring of 23 when we really started rolling it out. But really, I think we only had like 8 that first year. It's really last year and this. And I think also to your question too, I've just my summary, kind of reading the room of what comes in through my office. I do think that's a hard jump, middle school to high school. And I have more data that shows the last 2 years, October has been our busiest month. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the time when we've been in school for a few weeks. Now we have these classes that we have to be successful in. Those credits aren't going away. It's 6 different classes, 6 different teachers, and all of the dynamics that come with high school. Where, and then to what Adam and Matt said, like there's some, they don't have the coping skills yet that maybe OC would, right? So that's just anecdotally. I don't have any scientific research to back that, but kind of what we see day in and day out.
Yeah.
February is another tough.
Yeah.
January.
Yeah.
Welcome to February. Yeah. I remember going to when you had it must have been like a professional development with Josh Bishop, and that was such an amazing opportunity for everybody to learn and listen, and was that around 2023? That must have been, trying to think, it was a couple years ago.
I'm not remembering.
Yeah.
You remember that was? It was upstairs.
Yeah.
It was upstairs.
It was, I think it was 23.
It must have been right when you started all of this.
It was some specific training
Yeah.
that we did with.
Oh, yes,
counselors
yes,
and-
Yeah.
Yes, okay. Yep.
Yeah. Just like there, it's lovely. But my question is, are you still tied in then? There's like a new Pine Rest Center being built. Are you tied? So,
Yeah, so we had Pine Rest come in back in the fall. They reached out to Caroline actually, and we had them come in and talk with our whole team about the new facility and how to get direct access to Pine Rest. Which was very different than the past because sometimes what we were seeing was there was a gap between when students were discharged from Pine Rest. There wasn't a great communication loop, and they would come back to school, and we knew that something had happened, but they had not signed the release of information, so we weren't getting the information, and we couldn't partner with the family and Pine Rest. And some parents don't want that, that's fine. Right?
Yeah.
But we had a whole meeting on how to partner with them, and we have some more direct line of communications, which is.
I am glad to see that. This is very personal for, so I love these changes, and I think it's extremely important. And I agree with the anxiety dopamine kicks we're seeing, the anxious, I'm sure you guys have read The Anxious Generation, and thank you.
Go ahead, Joe.
No, please, go ahead.
Just a couple things. My husband used to do data analysis for an insurance company in the area, and one of the most impactful studies that he came across was the effect of what we would consider maybe some rather mild traumas, traumatic events that happened, and to the very traumatic things that anyone would identify as being, and the impacts that they have on that person's physical health. So if that's affecting them physically, can you imagine what it's doing to them in terms of their ability to learn? So I so appreciate your time and efforts are just so important. And it just gives us a comprehensive look at what really happens in our school setting. It is not just, here's your assignment, learn this. It is so much more complicated. The stuff that kids bring to the schools with them every day is, it's just complex. It is difficult. It is not the same as when we were kids, not even close. And I appreciate the interventions you guys are putting together for that. That's really important. And I really wish I'd see this actually trickle down to our elementary schools as well, because that's where we can start picking up on some of this stuff.
We do some of that in elementary. We definitely do tier 1, 2. We do it MTSS.
Yeah,
So
yes.
they are all trained in the blue envelope protocol.
Are they?
all
Okay,
doing the
good.
same thing that we are doing.
Good.
And the gals at the elementary level, they are doing great work too. They mirror a lot of the same interventions that we have. And then of course, they're rocking it with that tier 1 monthly learning lesson. So, and thank you, right? When I tell people what I do, I'm a social emotional learning coach, and then explain what it is, and we are really the only district. You guys have invested in people that help students, and having a student advocate, having an academic coach, having this, thank you for investing in students that way too.
One of the things I think was interesting, you talked about your tier 1 push-ins and where it's very confidential. And you said that's great for those first-year teachers, but I'm going to about guarantee that you don't have just first-year teachers asking for help.
No.
And I think it's important because we have these seasoned teachers who also, a lot of this stuff is new because you'll see new behaviors and things that you didn't deal with when you started in, 1994. So thank you. That's a really nice, safe, supportive option too, which I think is it's just fantastic what you're doing. So thanks.
I miss being in the classroom sometimes, so I feel like I get to
Sneak in.
dabble a little bit and go back in and connect with them, but
thank you.
it is.
So we're one of the few school districts in the area that are doing this?
I think we're the only one. I am not
Really?
aware of anybody that has some positions like us in every building.
I think Kentwood has a pretty good, I was at Kentwood for a while, and they have a really strong MTSS as well. But I was also in a building where it was extremely important. So I saw a lot of that at the elementary level, actually. So
You'll
I'm not
find
sure.
a lot, you find it very common in elementaries, because
But
I
not
think
in
it
high
is actually not as complex there. You're able to do a lot of the support systems. What's amazing is, and it takes special people, and those two are so special, along with Des, he is too, but you can just hear their passion for this. You can hear the love for the kids, that no matter what, they're going to do whatever they can to help that student be successful, and it takes people like that. But yeah, it is unique here. I mean, people come from all over, and I know you're requested to go places a lot too, but they do, because it at a secondary level, it's not normal. It's not typical to have what we have, and kudos to our people because they make it what it is. So.
Yeah, that's, in private life, right, I work in HR in a manufacturing setting, and so much of that entry-level workforce, right, especially the younger kids, and when I say younger, right, I'm 50-some years old, right, but, I'm saying, 30 and under, they struggle with those, I'll say, some of those simple things that we talk about in tier 1 and tier 2 interactions, right? Just coming into work every day, right? How to get through that first challenge that you have in your working world. And that's a lot of times where they collapse or they lash out and so forth. And it's great that we're helping our students learn those coping skills when they are right now so close to being out on their own, whether that's they're going from school to work, right? Or onto college or onto trades or whatever it might be. So thank you. I mean, that's fantastic work, and I wish we could spread this a lot further. Yeah.
I think, Joe, you had a question. I interrupted you.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, so.
I'm just patiently waiting. It's all good. Kent ISD provided some training over the last month for SISM training. I know it's probably not 100% connected to this, but critical incident and stress management within the school. Do we currently have like a SISM team in place, Adam, at the high school that you know of?
Not that I.
Okay, all right. I was just curious.
Mark
Most don't.
Yeah,
So.
Mark talked to me about that the other day, so.
Okay.
He guys was turning on that.
Okay, cool.
I'm also curious if you're going to, as we go into this next year with the new cell phone laws and everything, if that's going to be a part of that data that we kind of look at across the board, It's our policy right now, but with it being enforceable as a law, then I don't know if that's on your radar at all, but.
Yeah, we've talked through that.
Yeah.
I mean, our policy right now is.
It's very similar.
consistent
Yeah.
with the law right now, so.
Yeah, and I really appreciate how you sort of understand that relationship with academic and social behavioral outcomes. So many times we think they're separate and we treat them separately, but we know, especially as kids get older, that when kids are struggling academically, a lot of times it can be due to things going on with their mental health or behaviors, but also sometimes when kids are struggling with those behaviors, we know it's due to those academic deficits. I think it's really important too with the math. I think, all data is showing that our kids are really struggling nationally in the area of math. I know I see it in undergraduates at the university. And so I think targeting that and really building up some of those foundational skills will go a very long way.
Teaching them how to ask a question.
Yep.
There's an art of the question. And they're just the confidence of being able to sit in front of a group and say, I'm not sure. And be okay with that and understand that that's actually a sign of intelligence. And our kids are getting there. They're getting there.
Yeah.
Great. Wonderful.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate this stuff.
All right, on to item number 3, reports agenda. Start, Joe.
Hey, just a reminder to you all here on the board, February 27th, 9 a.m., Res Life reunification training. If you can make it, I'd appreciate it. Give you a good insight of what takes place.
What was that date again?
9 a.m., yep. Just come in off the Ivan Rest side.
What date again?
The 27th.
Great. Bob.
Given that it's 10 to 8, no report.
Right.
Just real briefly, my wife and I went to the Two Witches play. Awesome. It's
Yeah.
amazing the skills that our students have that I don't have at all.
Yeah.
Like, and how the staff puts it all together. And then just congratulations to the ladies bowling, wrestling, and cheer team for winning the conferences.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Amy.
Hockey regionals started today. We play Saturday. This Amy or this Amy?
You.
This
You,
Amy.
go for it.
All right. I know you were smiling. So hockey regionals. We play Saturday at 4. Georgetown. We're hosting regionals. So come on out, see some good hockey, and cheer our dogs on. Pre-festival concert was this last week, and it happens the first week in March. We host that every year, and the students lead that by taking different schools to different areas. Excellent music. You can come listen to some more good band music. And one last thing, our National Honor Society students are constantly doing volunteer work, and this last weekend, Lewis and several of his other National Honor Society kids went to the Lunar New Year over on 28th Street in Wyoming and set up games, and then Lewis helped kids all day Sunday from like 10 to 4 playing games and lighting off fireworks and watching, the dragon dance, and it's the year of the horse, if you were wondering. So happy Lunar New Year.
There you go. Good. Great. Sally.
I've had an opportunity to go to different schools, have to drop off things, and I just got to say props to our office staff. Every time you go in there, and it's not just to me, it's to anybody who walks in, the kids who come in from class or parents who are coming in or whatever, just the kindest, most efficient people you could ever ask for in your life. And I just really want to say thank you to our office staff. They're marvelous people. And we also went to the play that was just so much fun. Those kids are so talented. It's amazing. That's it.
Amy.
All right. Just to be real quick, I went to the Purple Community basketball game today for the 7th graders. It was great to see everybody, great turnout, people raised money for a great cause. The 7th grade girls are amazing at basketball. You're going to have to watch this group of girls coming up. I was consistently almost shocked by their level of skill. So they're fantastic, and it was a lot of fun.
Great, thank you. I'll just be quick too. Just went to the play as well. That was fantastic. They always do such a great job. Yes, all the sports teams, and boys bowling did pretty well too. I don't know if they won the conference or not, but I was watching. Girls won districts. Okay.
Districts.
Yeah. But I know boys were doing well too, and we've got some pretty good, fantastic bowlers on that team as well, from both the boys and the girls team. So, but yeah, congrats to everybody in basketball as well. Great season going on. So all kinds of fun stuff there. So hockey, all kinds of great stuff going on. So appreciate it. But that's all I have. Mr. Raj.
Yeah, still my thunder. Just a lot of events happening, a lot of things, a lot of success during the winter season. Everything from athletics to the play, our incredible band, orchestra, choir, you name it. Everybody is just doing amazing things, and it's very exciting. I know Adam and I are going back to my alma mater on Wednesday. Told him I would show him my statue. That's not there, by the way. Mosquito News Puffer, so for wrestling. But just looking forward to continuing to watch a lot of the events. If you didn't see the event, the competitive cheer this past weekend with that invitational, I'll send you in your board update some press coverage that they got on that, and just an amazing story and amazing things that happened there, well beyond the great competitive cheer experiences that they have. So make sure you get those. But I watched those, and just to say I had a tear in my eye for sure, because it's just really, they touch your heartstrings. So neat stuff, and Julie always does such an amazing job of that. So anyway, a lot going on. Very excited. It'll be gone before you know it, and especially if you have a senior, just enjoy those moments, because they go so fast.
Can I just add one thing? I was at my church, and I have a little girl, I shouldn't say little, but a girl who is at our middle school, goes to my church, and she comes up to me, is Mr. Barrett's retiring? I'm like, yeah, he is. She says, oh, I am going to miss him so much. He's such a good superintendent. I'm like, want to say, when I was in 8th grade, I had no idea who the superintendent was in my school district. So I thought that was really cool, and I sent Roger a picture of her. So.
That was awesome. Thank you for sharing that, by the way.
Great. Thank you all. On item number 4, old business. Any old business?
No old business.
On item 5, consent action agenda. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Support.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion passes. On to regular action items. 6A, the resolution to participate in the Kent ISD School of Choice Program. It is recommended the Board of Education approve the minute. Apologize on that one. Recommended the Board of Education approve Grandville Public Schools participation in the Kent Intermediate School District Collaborative Schools of Choice Program for the 2026-2027 school year. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Support.
Okay, and this is an annual thing, as you know, when, back in, I think it was 1996, when they started the school of choice option, instead of having people jumping all over the place, we had the ability as a county to have a coordinated program, and we work really well with each other within that program that still allows the options, but it doesn't, it's more controlled by the districts and among the districts that way. So, yeah.
All right. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion passes. 6B, the resolution to opt out of Section 105. Now, this is a two-part, and we're going to go through both real quick. We'll do them one at a time. It is recommended the Board of Education exercise the option permitted by Section 105 of the State School Aid Act of 1979 is amended by the Public Act 300 of 1996 and not accept Section 105 applications of non-resident students from outside a district for purposes of operating an intermediate school district-wide schools of choice program in accordance with Section 105 for the 2026-2027 school year. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Support.
So as mentioned, instead of having the big statewide program, you chose to opt into the ISD program, therefore we need to opt out by law of Section 105.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion passes. 6C, resolution to opt in, Section 105C. It is recommended the Board of Education exercise the option permitted by Section 105C of the State School Aid Act, Public Act 119 of 1999, as amended by Public Act 297 of 2000, and accept applications for enrollment from residents of contiguous intermediate school districts for the 2026-2027 school year. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Support. And this is a part of that plan. Instead of just having a Kent County plan, we know part of our district is in Ottawa County. We have contiguous districts around us, and sometimes kids do, for valid reasons, move from one place to another. So we have this 105C plan for contiguous districts, and it's worked very well for us. It's a way of, if it is the best choice for a kid to go or to come here, same thing. We work with the area superintendents and make sure that we're able to do that if it's the best choice.
Okay. Any questions? All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion passes. 6D, school calendar approval for 2026-2027. I can't believe we're already doing this. It is recommended the board approve the 2026-2027 school year calendar as negotiated with the Grandville Education Association and Grandville Public Schools. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Support.
Okay, and with our association and the great relationship we have with them, Mr. Filo's been working with them in collaboration to come up with this calendar. And Mr. Filo, you want to talk about the work?
Yeah, calendar itself is pretty similar. One of the key differences is week 1, instead of first day, half day, and then 3 half days. What we did is we looked at January 18. The last 4 years, we've had a half day with PD on that day. The last 4 years, we've had a snow day on that day. So we've kind of sacrificed some professional learning in and around that day as we've gone through it. And so we said, let's let's plug that half day into that first week. So the last day of the first week is just a true half day. Kept the same through September, October on those half days. The Thanksgiving break, not Thanksgiving, excuse me, the October break. This year we did Thursday, Friday. I had Adam join us this time because the high school's needs are pretty unique, particularly around athletics. So when we have high schoolers that have athletics, if we have a full day off on a Friday and you have a student who's an athlete, you have to be there. You typically have a football game, and so by having a half day on that Friday, our football team, kids are in school, they're not the only ones that are hanging around the community that day, and then we just took that following Monday as a full day as opposed to a Thursday, Friday. And then we moved February up 1 week, and again did a Friday, Monday, based on the KCEA calendar that they negotiate with the ISD. It fits inside that window, and conveniently the Super Bowl next year is on Valentine's Day.
You are so smart.
I won't take credit for that. I'll give.
You could. I just gave it to you.
I know.
Give it away.
But it wasn't my idea.
Okay, Troy, I'll give it to you.
There you go. So those are the big changes. It keeps us in 180 days of students, gives us still that first day before school starts for us to get everybody together and do our kickoff. We had a lot of dialogue about 5 days in that first week, and I think the large part of it was like, let's see what it does. We have another year, we'll give it a shot, we'll see how we like it. It still gets us out at noon on that Friday as opposed to a full day off on that Friday. So if someone wants a little bit longer weekend, it's still an option for them. Obviously not as long as leaving Thursday night, but this was a good give to give away the 18th that we've had to miss for PD the last 3 years. So.
All right. Any questions? All right. All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, John. On to 6E, the GEC Phase 6 classrooms. It is recommended the Board of Education authorize Owen Ains Kimball, OAK, to issue a letter of intent in the amount indicated to the contractor listed, pending confirmation that all requirements of the contract documents have been met. Upon receipt by OAK of all appropriate documentation, it is further recommended that the Board of Education award a contract to the contractor as specified below. You will see those all listed. The qualified bid package for the contractor specified above, including alternates, totals $555,190. A contingency of $55,519 is included, bringing the project total to $610,709. Can I get a motion?
Support. Did you say moved? Was it you? He said moved.
Very quietly, Lisa.
Yeah. So moved.
He's got to go to Kansas tomorrow.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is the build out of the final 3 classrooms in the GEC area. Plans for those classrooms include tuition-based preschool and GSRP for this coming fall. We're going to be able to start it earlier than the summer. I can show you down here. We did have, and I know I provided that to you, but we did have some low bidders that did not have complete packages submitted, so we had to eliminate them and go on to the next one.
Any idea why that occurred?
The lack of, so they didn't show up to our pre-bid meeting.
Was it a short time frame to bid?
No, it was about 2.5 weeks.
Okay.
So
All right.
typical bidding period, but
Okay.
just lack of, the lack of effort into it. We give them all the opportunity to ask the questions and see the site, and when they don't show up, sometimes this happens.
Okay. And maybe they're busy and
Yeah.
this is secondary and they feel it's going to be quite competitive.
So if, as you can see from the plan that I put up there, if we look plan south here, this is the main entrance currently to the GEC with the office and the corridor way. These 3 rooms are what will be finished. They've been white boxed for a little while. As you recall, we finished this area over here where we moved some stuff around for pathways and to be able to get these 2 rooms done with a grant. And so these last three will be done with sinking fund dollars, but it looks like we're going to be able to cut a hole right here and start work in this area around spring break. So,
I mean, this is spending a lot of money. Why are we doing this now? Is there like
This
is
is-
there an enrollment increase?
oh, this is sinking fund dollars.
Okay.
And so we're looking to finish out this building, so it'll be done in full. And yeah, there are wait lists available
Is there-
for
okay.
both GSRP and tuition-based preschool.
This has been one of those conversations we've had for a long time about making sure that our preschool keeps our families in Grandville in our preschools and feeds them into our schools. It's been a long time coming, so I'm super happy to see this.
So, give me an idea of the wait list. Can you, Heather? Like, I mean, is it substantial? I mean, who are we turning away?
We're turning away, yeah, I mean, we're turning away Grandville families, so, and I'd have to get that information from Julie Scott for you, but every year, to start the year, there's always a list that needs treehouse, there's a list that needs tuition preschool. Some just don't qualify for GSRP, it is an income-based program, and they were increasing the income ratio, but now it's going the opposite direction. It's going back down lower. So in terms of you have to have lower income to be able to get into those programs. We've also expanded. This is another area where we've expanded and offering our 1755 ECSE programming, which is for our 4-year-olds, and it's a push-in to the GSRP, so they're with same age peers. Their special ed needs, range from just itinerant service only to maybe some other pull-out strategies that they need. But that building is not an underused building, if you will.
I will say, we have not been there now for 2 years, and when we were there 2 years ago, we easily, with the wait list, could have filled this space that they're just now opening. Like, this has been a definite need for this district to find high-quality, affordable child education at that level. So this is very exciting.
So the other thing I think I can tell you about the programming too, just to kind of piggyback on that a little bit, is if you talk about GSRP, right, that's a 4-day, full-day program. But when you look at our tuition-based, it's an AM and a PM, and so you also have families that need that wraparound with Treehouse, and so this is going to help us be able to give that to them.
Yeah, I can speak to that. Trying to find an option when you need full day care for your 4-year-old. It's really hard to come by in this area. And it's also very unaffordable.
Oh my gosh,
And so I thought my youngest was in preschool, and it was fantastic because he got to come to his school, he got to know some friends. It's just a really excellent program. So, and I know there's a lot of families who are in need of that.
And the fact that you can go to Treehouse right in this same building from your preschool experience it's a gift. It really is.
Any other questions?
Believe it or not, no.
All right, let's do a roll call.
Okay. Deanne?
Yes.
Benek, yes. Campbell?
Yes.
Wondergem?
Yes.
Gardine?
Yes.
Steffes?
Yes.
Hybor?
Yes. Motion passes. Thank you very much, Heather. On to the 6F, the delinquent tax waiver, City of Grandville. It is recommended the Board of Education approve the waiver and consent forms for the City of Grandville to strike the 2020 and prior delinquent personal property taxes from the tax rolls. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Support.
Yep, so this is an annual item that we bring. City of Grandville was one of the first that sent us this. For this current year, I do anticipate bringing probably Walker and Wyoming next month, assuming they have some that they're looking to strike. But it typically goes back a number of years, and it's typically a small dollar amount that they're just unable to collect. So I guess additionally, like when they are unable to collect, then we do get the settlement from the county, and then the state aid is readjusted, as you'll recall, like through the proposal A piece that's associated with our state aid payment.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Yes. Yes.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you again. All right, and then on to discussions reports. Just a quick update on the superintendent search that we've got going on. For those of you who may have noticed, right, we have had it published now on the website. We did send out a note to family members, I believe, right, or school, or no? Did we? Yeah, we sent something out, right? Yeah, something went out here at the end of last week. And actually, Raj and I just spoke today about trying to make it a little bit easier to get to the survey, because you do have to do a little digging. Saw a lot of feedback online about that and heard from a couple of you. So gonna see what we can do there to make that a little more prominent on the webpage, so we can get some good feedback there. So yeah, so that's coming along. And our hope, again, obviously, is to get that wrapped up here by spring break. So, questions? Comments?
Well, I know that we had discussed the possibility of having listening sessions for the public. I understand that the staff was addressed already, but what about the public? Are we not going to have any public input from the other than the survey responses in terms of open-ended questions or comments?
I know we talked about that last week, and we kind of said no, we weren't going to do that. We were going to go forward with the survey. And I will say, right, if we could have some crazy results back from the survey, this isn't anything that's written in stone, right?
Okay.
That it's got to be done this way. If we get some crazy results back from the survey that make us go, let's peel that layer of that onion back a little bit further, we'll certainly do that.
Is there any kind of benchmark in terms of people who approach the board in one way or another saying, we would really like to be able to have verbal input into this process, where that would be the tipping point where we would say, yes, we are going to have listening sessions?
I'm not keeping track. I'm not doing a count. I mean, I think, when they come to us, right, I think my approach so far is to be all ears. Hey, let's talk about it. Tell me what your input is. Even if you look at the input sessions as they were designed, we weren't involved in those.
No, right.
There was a third party, and I guess my point being is that I'm more than willing to go, one-on-one with somebody if they want to talk to me and tell me what. I've had lots of conversations already over the past weekend about this process, and I hope people continue to come to me and give me their thoughts and ideas on it.
And I wouldn't mind people doing that with me either. I just wonder if there's a way that we can compile those comments so that they're accumulated in one location, so that we can all see what people are saying to us.
Like a survey?
Gee. But this is an open-ended question. This is not the prescribed questions of the survey, because there's no open-ended way to respond to that survey. It's just either you pick from these drop-down menus.
Yeah. I think there's the one that you can pick as many as you want, like characteristics. And then when I look at the questions that they prescribed for the openness, I'm not sure there's anything more we would get. Maybe we would. But again, like I said, I'm more than open to having discussions with people and talking through it individually. And I hope we bring that, to the planning sessions that we have in the future here when we start developing the criteria and developing the questions.
Well, then I would encourage us all then, as we're having these conversations, and we should be writing this stuff down. Recording it in a way so that the voices that do want to come to us and speak about the things that they would like to see in the superintendent, if it's not covered in the survey, that we certainly do diligence to their thoughts and feelings, so that they feel like, or they know that we're going to consider their feelings about this very important decision.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, whatever works best for everybody. I trust you all to be able to record that and bring those thoughts.
From my perspective, I'm not going to record anything. The dialogues that I'm having are one-on-one my opinion, their opinion, and it'll go into my thought process as I reflect on the candidates. That's what this is about. We have never done this with the public. It's always done by our agent, our project manager, MASB, as it is this time. They are responsible for that. It eliminates any slight waver in thought, because is someone going to have more influence over the entire board if there was public input from that perspective? So from my perspective, this is a board decision we're going to be making, and I'm very satisfied with the process that we've come up with.
I think to slightly challenge that particular thought, you do say that we have our consultant who did all that stuff before, but he's not doing that either. So I think that's where I'm having my questions. Excuse me?
That's what the board decided to do.
I think we all were really still wanting to have some type of survey and but at any rate, what I'm saying is that I think that as long as there's clarity, that if we are open to hearing from the public, you don't have to take anything down, you don't have to write it down, but that we are open and available to people to also then start compiling those questions.
Obviously.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any other questions, comments? All right. We will then move into public comment. So far, Ms. Campbell will keep time for us.
Alrighty.
All right. We have one person. We have Ann McCarthy. You are up. Ms. Campbell will give you a warning at 1 minute.
Good evening. I'm just here to highlight some things that I, as a parent, see going well in our district. As always, I'm going to highlight our band. I was able to travel with 159 high school students to Walt Disney World and Universal Studios. And I just want to say these kids were phenomenal. We traveled through airports, through Epcot, and through Magic Kingdom at the end of the fireworks shows at night. And these kids didn't skip a beat. We didn't lose anybody. We're like, you go, and they went. And of course, this is all because of our directors who have trained these kids very well. And the number of compliments we got throughout our entire trip in the airports, at our performances, just moving around the parks, everyone was impressed. So I'm very proud of our band. I also want to, we just had Solo Ensemble Festival for the high school recently. 40, my numbers might be a little off. I think 43 kids participated in 38 ensembles, and 34 got a level 1 rating and will go to state, so that's really phenomenal. And the other thing two things impressed me about that day. Number one, the number of kids and parents that show up for any student. Sometimes there's literally 20 people in a room watching our students perform, which doesn't happen for any other group. So that was really amazing. And then some of these judges, when they give feedback, it can kind of bite, and our kids take it in stride. And that is something that's missing in a lot of teenagers today, taking constructive criticism. And our kids recognize it, they're trying to make me better. I'm going to take this information and use it when I go home to practice. So that's really something special in our kids too. And then we do have our festival coming up at the high school on February 26th. So I'd like to invite all the administrators and the board to those concerts. We do have 4 concerts. Our first hour concert band is at 8 a.m., third hour is at 9:50. Our symphonic band is at 12:45, and Symphonic Winds is at 3:10. So I hope to see some familiar faces at those concerts to support our students. And then the other activity I would like to acknowledge is our powerlifting teams. So my son and now my daughter have been on the high school powerlifting teams, and that sport is really just amazing. It gives a lot, the number of kids that participate is amazing. A lot of kids who otherwise wouldn't be considered an athlete participate in it, and they're rocking it. I'm pretty sure that our varsity teams got first place at all the competitions, boys and girls. So They perform, or they compete Saturday at Mona Shores, and usually we have to travel pretty far, but it's relatively close on Saturday, so I'd like to invite everybody to those events also. And then, this is just serendipitous that this social emotional high school learning presentation happened tonight, because that's something that's very near and dear to my heart. And I was very excited to see what's going on. I do think it's just a beginning, and I hope they continue to expand, because I have to imagine in a high school with 1,700 kids, it's really easy for kids to get lost. So if they're not at the top or the bottom of those 1,700 kids, it's really easy for them just to not reach their full potential, maybe. For people not to see them, see their struggles. So I hope it just continues not only to expand in our high school, but that it filters down to our middle school and to Oakstown and elementary. So, thank you.
Thank you. All right, the next board meeting, the Grandville Board of Education, will be on Monday, March 2nd, 2026 at 7 p.m. at the Administration Building. We are adjourned.